Hey everybody, thank you for joining us on the TWNRGY Podcast.
Thank you very much.
What? I just wanted to give you guys some tips on where to find us. The main thing, well, obviously you found us if you're watching this, but...
you found us, thank you. We were lost for a little while.
Search, first one is YouTube. Go on YouTube and search TWNRGY, TWNRGY. And also do the same thing on Facebook, search TWNRGY. And then also we have a Patreon account. Or first off, we have an Instagram account. Do it for the gram, y'all. Gram it up. Grammy season's coming up. Yeah, folks. Get those Grammys.
Award-winning.
Likes, comments, whatever. But yeah, search for us on Instagram. Search TWNRGY. And then also, Patreon. We have a Patreon account. That website is www.patreon. And it'll be /TWNRGY. And on Patreon, you'll be able to see our videos, and you'll have an opportunity to contribute if you'd like, whether it's monthly or a one-time contribution. There is expenses that are factored into this, whether it's posting and other things of that sort. But if not, feel free to continue to watch us for free and enjoy the material that we put out. And Adam has some other information in regards to how you can find us.
All right. The other things you could do to find a place to, say, listen to us on is go on Apple iTunes, go on that search bar, type in TWNRGY, TWNRGY, and then our podcast will pop up. Also, the same for Spotify. Just type in our TWNRGY name. It'll come up. And then go on Stitcher. It'll come up and you'll find us, and you could download an app for Stitcher and Spotify on your phone. This way it makes it easy to get there, on the go.
Yeah, if you have Apple, it's already on the phone, I believe.
Yeah, you already have the Apple iTunes app on there. So yeah, Apple, you have Android, whatever you have,
what
download
your affiliation, just
whatever site you find yourself on. Download Stitcher or Spotify app. Type in TWNRGY and you'll find us.
And once you do find us on YouTube, if you could subscribe, that'd be amazing. It's just as good as contributing financially sometimes.
You can subscribe on iTunes as well.
Subscribe on iTunes.
Don't forget that.
Leave comments, leave suggestions.
We're open for it.
Open, ready for any suggestions and comments that you may have. Just let us know. We'll continue to bring information about health and wellness. And just want to say thanks again for listening to us. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Adam Fernandez.
With the TWNRGY Podcast. Love you guys. Take care.
Take care. Love you. Hey everybody. I'm Adam.
I'm Aaron.
And we're here with the TWNRGY Podcast. And we're going to be talking about today putting yourself in other people's shoes.
Whether they're moccasins, sandals, slip-ons, dress shoes.
Crocs. Those are the new things, I think.
CrossFit shoes. Anything. Anybody's shoes. Or even if you're Dutch, you have those little wooden shoes. They're not comfortable, but...
Clogs?
Clogs.
There you go.
Someone's shoes, nonetheless.
But, so, yeah, kind of just started off. It's just, when we put ourselves in someone else's shoes, it helps us to realize what we do have in life compared to what we don't have. It's just... We complain in general on a daily basis about...
Easy to complain.
About the annoyances in life. I'm guilty of this. I complain.
Me too.
I try to keep it to a minimum, but I'm honest with myself and say, yes, I do complain at times. But it's if we focus on kind of the things that we do have in life, whether it is like...
As well as the things you don't have in life.
Because you have a place to stay. You have food to eat. You have... family and friends that love you. You are able to walk around and enjoy life and just
breathe, everything.
If you have these things, I would say you're doing a lot better than most of the other people in this world. Because a lot of people don't have that. They're homeless. They maybe have injuries that prevent them from doing things. They don't have food to eat. It's a struggle to find something to eat on a daily basis.
No roof over their head. No good clothes to keep them warm and safe and whatever the case may be.
And with some of those people, they're just happy to be alive. Maybe not all of them. It's not going to be for everybody.
Nope.
But yeah, maybe they're just happy to be alive. And here we are. We have a pretty comfortable place to live, eat, and family and stuff.
Yeah.
And we're just complaining, oh man, the traffic was bad. Oh, like,
I didn't get that new car I want. I had to get this series instead of that series. Oh man,
it's like I didn't
first
get
world problems.
I didn't get that $20 raise. I only got $18 raise, and just
You only make $18 in a year. I don't know, a
know.
month, a week, whatever the case may be.
it's just we complain about these little annoyances. I'm happy. I have great family and friends that support me and love me, and I support and love them as well. I have
You
a
love
place.
me?
I love you, dude.
Love you too, dude.
Little dude. I have a place to stay. I have food to eat. I have a great job and a car that gets me to and from where I need to be. So it's like I shouldn't be complaining about much of anything in life, because beyond food and shelter and family, what else do you really need?
Not much.
Not much. But yeah, I'm gonna pass it over to Aaron.
Kind of selfishly, sometimes I put myself in other people's shoes. One instance is usually like if I've had a friend that has got a DUI. I know how tough that is and annoying it is, because you can't drive. You have to pay a crap ton of money for lawyer fees and all these other fines and this, that, and the other, and you don't have the opportunity to drive around because you don't have a license for 6 months. You don't have a license for a year, whatever the case may be. So I like to put myself in other people's shoes and live vicariously through them in these bad situations, so I know that I won't have to deal with something like that. But the whole reason that Adam was saying that we're mainly talking about it is just to put ourselves in other people's shoes, just to see how other people live on a day-to-day basis. You don't have to have an interview with somebody or something of that sort, but just be aware that
And understand.
Yeah, like there's people who are richer than you, people that are poorer than you, people that are disabled, people that are lonely, and maybe you are not one of the above, but you can learn from that and you can maybe help other people in life. So but I just want to kind of gear towards a couple friends that we have. We have a couple friends that are in wheelchairs. Our buddy Steve and our buddy John, and they're both, to me, I'm sure as well to Adam, they're both inspirational individuals in my life, and I see how they deal with things after being able-bodied and then now being in a wheelchair. Not that you're not able-bodied, but you have your limitations, and they do
As we all do,
regardless if you're able-bodied or not. But they do their best to not let their situation basically limit them, and they get out of their comfort zone. They do these things just so that they can test their capabilities, as well as push their capabilities, push their baselines, and see don't necessarily listen to what doctors say or what other individuals say your capabilities are, but they create their own capabilities. They create their own life going forward, which we all do. Like if we listen to everybody and said like, oh, you won't be able to do this, you'll never amount to that, then we'd sell ourselves short. So it's always good to just test ourselves. Not that I'm saying to test yourself to the detriment, but just see what your capabilities are. Don't let other people determine what your capabilities are. But either way, I've learned a lot from them by putting myself in their shoes, just by going to various events and hangout sessions with both of them. One that I remember about a year ago, our buddy Steve came out to Huntington Beach and we went to a concert on the beach. And he's in a wheelchair. We got a lift to drop us off, and then we got to the entrance. We're like, hey, where's your ADA entrance? And they're like, what's that? We're like, well, our buddy's in a wheelchair, and we need to find a way into the inside of the concert where they have the area that people in wheelchairs can hang out. Like, oh, I don't know. So they're calling people on walkie-talkies, and they're like, oh, go talk to this one. Oh, go talk to that one. I'm like, wasn't this your job? Either way, we talked to this one. We talked to that one. And like 40 plus minutes later, they finally brought somebody with one of those 4x4 little golf cart things and picked us up through the wheelchair in the back of that. Adam and I rode with him, and so did our friend Steve. And but the thing is, once we got there, he kind of drove us to one area, which is basically the pathway for the wheelchairs. But the pathway for the wheelchairs was going across where all of the food trucks were at. Like all the entrances to the food trucks were lined up right away, and they had like a kind of rubber path. So then one of us had to stay in the front to kind of block everybody, push everybody out of the way, and then the other one had to push the wheelchair. Like they do not make it easy for people who are disadvantaged, or
not at all.
It's like they're already in a difficult situation, and you're making it more difficult for these individuals. Like you'd hope that they not everybody's forward thinking when they start up these events and plan them out. But it just blows my mind that people going forward could take these things into consideration.
In a perfect world, man.
Yeah, perfect world. But so, and then also, like I said, we finally got through. We made our pathway to another pathway. We got through all those food trucks, but I'll say the only icing on the top, or the cherry on top, was that we had this amazing kind of pseudo VIP area where all the wheelchairs go. It was a raised area, a little platform, and you got to see over all the heads. Because otherwise, if you're down on
your tippy toes,
all the plebes, everybody's standing there. I'm shorter, so I kind of see over people's heads. But where we were at, it was maybe raised about 4 to 5 feet, and we're way over everybody. Got to see an awesome view of the stage. So I guess all that nonsense that we had to deal with, at least we got an opportunity to hang out and have a great view.
Yeah, you have to, it's like diamonds. All that pressure, and then something good comes out of all that trouble, and something good came out of it.
I met a lot of cool people. Some other people who were in wheelchairs who were in it temporarily. This one girl who got in a really bad car accident, and you just hear her stories and her horror stories in regards to getting around. And it's not easy when you are in a wheelchair. This world, I'll say, this society isn't really built for it here in the United States, and a lot of people deal with a lot of pain just to try to get around. But also, that's just the main one that I can recall. There's other ones with Steve, but that was the main one that I wanted to cover here. And also, I just wanted to tell a story about our buddy John. We've dealt with a couple situations with him being in a wheelchair, and I'm sure he's experienced obviously a whole lot more than we've seen. But we went to a Dodger game recently, and this, as a preface, do you think the Dodgers would do their due diligence?
As big of a worldwide organization as they are.
Yeah, to make it easy for people with disabilities to get into their stadium and not have to worry about anything. And think about it, it's LA. LA is very progressive, very forward thinking, whether it's electricity, it's efficiency, it's waste, it's this, that, and the other. Conservancy. LA is usually at the precipice, or California, and then LA nonetheless is usually at the precipice of making these things happen and taking care of individuals, taking care of society, taking care of our environment. But Dodgers, you dropped the ball, man. I love you guys. Hope you guys get the
team's good. I don't know about the rest of the organization.
I know everybody's focused on winning, and they don't care about the fans as much. But anyways, we got to Dodger Stadium, and there were 4 of us: Adam, Jessica, John, and I. And one thing and we were in a different entrance, which doesn't have access to disability entrance or whatever the case may be. So ADA entrance. So what they did, they broke us up. They're like, oh, only 2 of you can come in, which is fine, which is annoying, because once you get into the stadium, it's hard to find your friends. Because if you've ever been to Dodger Stadium, there's so many people, it's very crowded. So that was a little bit of an annoyance. So Adam and I separated. John and Jess waited in line. But what was crappy is that everybody kept on cutting in line. We got to the game an hour, maybe about an hour early, and really it was a giveaway day, so I guess that's part of the hassle. But either way, people just kept on cutting in front of them. So Jessica went to go talk to one of the security guards. She's like, hey, my husband's in a wheelchair, we're waiting in this line, people are cutting us off. Guy was callous and had no remorse. He goes, well, maybe you should just talk to them and tell them to stop cutting. And it just blew my mind that someone could be that thoughtless and didn't care. It's about someone who, like I said earlier, someone who's in a tough situation. They make it even more tough. They make it annoying. And so how am I going to have a good time once I get in the stadium when I've already been dealing with this crap? Anyways, an hour later, we get into the stadium, and
it was like an hour and a half for them.
Yeah, it was quite some time. It was like already
took us 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was already the second inning of the game. It was just about over. But anyways, we got in, and then we had to go through an elevator, and that took quite a while as well. Just insult to injury, one situation after another. Finally make it down up to the level that we're at, and then we talked to the people, and again, kind of like the situation with Steve, we're like, hey, where's the area for ADA where we can sit? I don't know. I'm not the person to talk to. I don't know. And finally we flagged somebody down, and the guy was very nice. He was actually nice amongst a boatload of unnice people, and he told us, oh, here, follow me. But then we got there, and the other lady said, oh, there's nowhere you guys can sit. I'm like, oh my gosh. I know they don't really plan for this, but it's just insane that
Well, they do plan for it because they have a whole section for ADA.
Yeah, but I mean, they don't have enough. They don't plan enough in regards to having enough area for people to sit. But then finally, 10, maybe 15 minutes later, we searched around with the guy and he found a spot for us. But only John and Jessica can fit in the area. But then, which is fine, Adam and I just kind of hung out around.
We just stood right behind him.
Yeah. But then we got to the area, we wheeled up John, and then there's an obstruction in his view. There's like this little tabletop where people can put their beers, their food, and things like that. And so it was very annoying. Like,
He's looking down.
Yeah, you can't see the field at all. Either he had to be awkward and stand and kind of lean.
When he couldn't really stand.
And he can't put pressure on his legs or on his hip. But then otherwise you're like kind of leaning or you kind of have to hunch. And it's already uncomfortable in that wheelchair. So it blows my mind.
They don't make it easy on people.
Yeah, long story short, Dodgers do not make it easy on people with disabilities.
Or elderly, because there's an elderly person in the same
Yeah.
situation. So whether you have any kind of ADA things going on or you're elderly, Dodger Stadium does not make it easy on you.
No, and I just learned that I value my mobility. And I want to make it easier for individuals who are in wheelchairs. So when I see people, I want to help them out, whether they need to clear out the pathway or whatever the case may be. I feel bad for them. I know how difficult it could be when you're out in public, at least in the United States. I'm sure it's worse in other countries, or probably better than most. But still, either way, it's difficult. They're already dealing with a tough situation. I, myself, want to make it easier for them. And it puts perspective for me, how easy I have it. And like Adam was talking about earlier, we complain a lot. It makes me more apt to not complain about the menial things that I deal with that are annoying. Like, oh, someone cut me off, so on and so forth, whatever the case may be. But yeah, those are just a couple situations where I've put myself in other people's shoes just to see how difficult they're living their day-to-day life. But it definitely pales in comparison to, or my day-to-day issues that pale in comparison to what they may deal with on a daily basis. But yeah, that's what I wanted to cover and pass it on to this dude.
Sounds good. All right, everybody. I kind of want to go back to talking about our friends Steve and John. Just kind of with them, I see them and they both work so hard to try to be 100% or kind of close to what they both used to be with working out, just to become a little bit more physically able. And then I see them and I see other people and they don't even work. These are able-bodied people that don't even work nearly as hard as my friends John and Steve, because the able-bodied people, they just want to relax, sit on the couch, do nothing. They don't want to work out. They just gotta take the easy route. And then that doesn't account for everybody, but a lot of people in this world. And it's just for me, and like maybe I'm being callous, but some people need to toughen up a little bit and get out there, make things happen, stop complaining, have patience, and just think of the things that are going well in life instead of focusing on the negative. We as people, and I know I'm guilty of it as well, tend to focus on the negative first,
it's easy to focus on the negative,
kind of put to the wayside the positive stuff, and just just kind of get out there, get off the couch, take care of yourself, be able-bodied, because there's people that are out there that can't be able-bodied and would love to be in your position and be walking on 2 feet and getting things done and not having to have the assistance of others to make things happen. So,
and I'll say it's not just you getting out there working out, it's just putting yourself in other people's shoes, whether they're less fortunate, whether there's a kid who doesn't have a meal that you know about. Just think about how difficult it is, and maybe think of ways how you can help, or think of ways that you can better yourself where you're not wasting. Because how many times do we waste food? Like, oh, I don't want that, and we scrap it, and think about someone who doesn't have food.
So, kind of brings me back, and then just kind of a story in a movie, something about Mary. Ben Stiller, he's helping a dude in a wheelchair move from one house to another, and Ben Stiller has like a big old armoire, like dresser on his back, and he's just hunched and doing it, and then he like pulls something in his back, and he's just complaining like, "Oh, my back," and then the guy goes,
my legs,
whatever it is. And then the guy goes, "What I wouldn't give to feel that in my legs." And it just kind of goes to show how we are able-bodied and we do things and we complain about it when somebody would definitely not mind being in that position of discomfort for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
So, just
yeah. Oh, one other thing I want to say. It's one other aspect, putting yourself in other people's shoes. Adam and I ride our bike a lot around where we live, and we see a lot of homeless people. There's this one guy that we would give a couple bucks to every once in a while. He was actually trying to better himself and get off his feet, but like maybe $2 or $3 is not much to me. But giving him $2 or $3, that's the world, because maybe he's not earning anything. I don't know what he's spending it on. Maybe it's this, that, or the other. But either way, it just puts into perspective that little things that we have that we take for granted, other people just cherish.
So, kind of just to wrap it up, just realize what you have in life. Put yourself in somebody else's shoes who may be less fortunate than you in any regard.
Yeah.
And just think of that and focus on what you do have and what you're able to do, and just try to stop gravitating towards the negative. And if you see somebody that needs help them out, because it's not easy when you have different things going on in life that don't allow you to be 100%. Not that we're ever at 100%, but yeah, just feel free, go out there and help others.
Let a helping hand.
Oh, so this has been the Put Yourself in Somebody Else's Shoes podcast. I'm Adam.
And I'm Aaron.
This is TWNRGY Podcast. Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Take care.
Love you.